Good morning, and this is a new structure to what we were doing. Let me give a brief background of what this is and what the IVR Trend Score stands for and how it is derived. Right. Firstly, we're going to look at this new structure on a weekly front. We're going to, uh, do a market snapshot, but not using any data that is available that is not permissible by SEBI. Right? This is my custom indicator, custom method of analyzing how the market is behaving, and the IVR trend score is a combined calculation of market breadth using point and figure, momentum using point and figure. Then there is futures options using Renko, and these are mostly a combination of all of these, and the most important element is the fifth one, which is the multi-time frame analysis. I've shared my studies on different channels of how multi-time frame analysis and breadth plays a very, very important role in identifying the strength of the market, the health of the market, the pulse of the market. You can call it whatever, but my research goes very deep into how multi-time frame breadth, even momentum is an extremely important part. And with futures and options, I try and decode what is the money flow direction, where is the money flowing, and how can I interpret that piece of information. So this is what it has come to finally, and this is a study of over 3 years. I've built multiple products in between, but unfortunately, I was not able to get the desired results that we were looking for. Right. So having said that, let's get this started. And what are we looking at the top section? We're looking at three gauge charts, which is my IBR Wealth score and the Nifty 500 breadth and the long short ratio. What are the market participants doing as well? How are they building their longs and shorts? What is the ratio? So here one very specific thing I want you to keep note. Everything is divided something by something. So if you see less than one, that means bears are in control. If you see greater than one, bulls are in control. At the same time, we try and identify a pattern to see if we can get an oversold, overbought area. With this, that is what you will see across the board here, right? So if you see the gate chart of IBR Wealth score, it is almost like this is my own. If I have to say, this is my own fear and greed index, which tells me is the market are the market participants in fear or in greed, and what sort of positions I have to take. So the IVR Wealth score is nearly at extreme fear. So which is why I think I put a note out that says no more shorts for me. Even the same thing with breadth. Breadth is at 0.42, and if you see, it is at the fear zone. Long short ratio is at 0.66. It still has some room, I would say, that longs, there might be gap downs, there might be a little more profit booking that might happen. There is scope as per the long short ratio, right? If you notice, uh, one thing that I cleanly observe, prices made a higher high, but my IBR trend, long short ratio, and the breadth that I track are heading towards the oversold area, right? This up move couldn't sustain, but having said that, the fall was not so significant, and the corrections, or the underlying health of the market has now sort of settled down. This is the beauty of point and figure, right? The It's either only in X or in O. For people who don't understand point and figure, just go Google point and figure charts or use TradingView point and figure charts, and you will understand. You will see the entire chart broken into column of X's, which is a bullish swing, and column of O's, which is a bearish swing. Right. Similarly, we are calculating breadth for point and figure X and O. using X% breadth. So which means what are the percentage of stocks in bullish swings, right? So basis that, and similarly for long short ratio as well, to identify momentum, we are using some sort of Renko methods, which are nothing but bullish and bearish bricks method again, right? Coming back here, what do I see? Right, IVR trend is coming to the oversold zone, very, very close to the oversold zone. I will come back to these green and red dots that you're seeing here with the current positions that are there. And long short ratio on the daily time frame is at the oversold area as well. Even the breadth is looking at the oversold area. Nifty is making a higher high. I am not going to take any more shorts, right? I let the market play out for a couple of days. I'm not saying this will take off from here, but I'd like to, stay away from shorts at this point. Very clearly, the score is at fear level, breadth is at fear level. There is some scope for falling in the long short method, right? Where shorts are decently placed, but not really very heavy, right? And this is the daily view. For the weekly view, again, it's a combination of IVR score weekly is near the oversold zone of 0.45. Long short ratio was approaching the oversold area and now has taken a small detour, and the breadth as well is sort of turning towards the upside, but we'll need to see. If I see in weekly, there is still some scope for consolidation, maybe even slight correction that is there. But again, the price is not supporting this, and which is why I think my decision is such. If I look at monthly, I wouldn't dwell too much on it. In the future episodes, we'll have a look at it. This data is only from June, so we have only about 4 to 6 months of data. That's the reason why I'm not going too deep into it. Right. Now, this is my system, and if I can explain, I will show you another chart that indicates what happened. My entry, the first green dot was 19 June, and then it stayed in the oversold and it went further. My exit is on 27 June. This is a SAR trading method. I do stop and reverse. Means when you long in the green and short in the red, you immediately enter a short, you exit the long and you enter a short position, right? Which is similar. And then the next 2 days was difficult because the price went against you, but then eventually it did come back to my position on 8th of August, and then similarly again the green dot, and then it goes on. And I longed the market at 8th August and shorted, exited my long on 16th September, and immediately shorted the same because it's a SAR system. And then this has now rolled back nicely, and 29th September or 30th September, whichever could have been your buy. If we had entered at 30th September, the buy signal, the last active signal, the number of days holding, this is purely for Nifty. The number of days holding is 52 days as of today, and the ROI would have been about 6%, right? So let me explain to you what that looks like. This is the entry exit. You got an entry on 19 June. You got the first sell signal at 27th June, and then immediately as we spoke, the short starts on 27th June, and the long is at 8th August. And similarly, the SAR method, I'm assuming, right? So this is the first system. You shorted it, you longed it at 19 June, and it ended up at 27 June as exit, where you got 24,800 to 24,600, right? That's another 800 point. Then my position two was a short because you immediately saw where you exited here. That will be your entry point here. There are going to be spreads, variations, and all of these things that are there, but let's just keep this for this now, right? At the exit, I got another entry, that is the short entry, and I entered it on 27 June, and the exit that it gave me was at 8th of August, right? So we come to 28th of July. Okay, there is something that I made a mistake here, but I'll show you the system, right? How it has moved. 27th June. to 8th of August was the next buy, right? Let me just quickly make that change. 8th of August, right? Yeah. And here also I enter on the 8th of August. Yeah. Okay. The changes are done. So we entered the short position on 27th of June and exited on 8th of August, right? We got the short at 25,600. We got the exit at 24,300 or 400, right? That's another 1,200 points that we were able to capture. And similarly, the third position is 8th of August, and your exit will be around 16th of September. 15th September, it has given me an exit, which is a day here and there, right? 8th of August was 24,360, and my exit was at 25,000, right? You got, if you even if you take 24,400, you got another 600 point run here. What I want to emphasize on is this is the part where most traders, you know, fail to hold, and the fear and the panic kicks in. 24,300, it went to 25,100, right? You got a 700 point and boom, this is what it is. But you ended up at 1,000 points almost, right? 25,100 to 24,700 points you ended up. But see the journey of this trade. Would you have been able to hold? This is what has made a massive difference. When I plotted this, I understood that you have to trust the system and let it run, right? This is one of the things that is there. And immediately you come in 15th September, you come into the short position. We got it at 25,069 and 24,650. You got another 500 points in this. And this is the most active trade, which is that 59-day trade that is active. You entered at 24,650, and even at 26,000 it has not given you an exit, right? So you hold as long as the system tells you to hold, right? This is a slightly longer video, but I wanted you to understand the power of building a system, and also this is my system. uh, it goes without saying, it's in all of my videos. I am very very happy to discuss this. I'm very very happy to uh, you know go through it. If you have any suggestions, feedback, criticism, I'm very happy to take them. I think people who know me pretty much know this by now, right? The end stance is that you know I'm not going to take any more shots. No more shots. I will wait outside. I will probably sit aside. If there are opportunities, then I will add, I will start adding calls in my systems slowly for maybe December expiry, or even Jan expiry, right? So there's no point in chasing these intraday systems according to me, and this is my approach. This is a slightly longer video. This is the first video that I'm doing in this series, and I wanted to explain to you what the process is and how we could have, how I have tried and derived at it, and how I have built it. And if there's anything that you want to share, very happy to take it again. Thank you very much, and have a great weekend and a very very good trading week ahead.